Yo, man, what's the YouTube, man? Show boy McCannaps, aka Mr. Sniper, bro, man. Today's, man, we got the NBA's biggest villain. If you're new, man, hit that like button, subscribe, and share, man. We're on the road to 700 subs. Man, we're only 9 away, man. Let's get into it.
Because it portrays its best players as heroes. And where there are heroes, there must be villains. Here's how Trae Young became the NBA's newest supervillain, and how his hate compares to some of the most hated players in NBA history. How Trae became the NBA supervillain. There are 5 major reasons why some people can't stand Trae Young. Some of it because of Trae, and some of it is completely out of his control. It all started during his college days at Oklahoma. At first, Trae was extremely underrated. He was playing great, but because his school was primarily known for football, he received very little media attention. However, when Trae started dropping 30 and 40 regularly, leading the NCAA in scoring and assists, ESPN started up the hype machine. It was Trae Young this, Trae Young that. You couldn't listen to any sports show that didn't mention Trae every 5 seconds. And guess what? Some people got sick of it, and we don't blame them. Trae was a
It's crazy. I feel like Oklahoma really should be a basketball school too. Oklahoma should be one of them teams in basketball that should be good. I don't know why, but
great college player, but to little fault of his own, he was way overhyped. The opposing fans hated that this little guy was getting all the attention, and because he was usually destroying their schools, Young got booed in almost every arena. When some fans discovered Trae had a bird phobia, they even started bringing giant pictures of birds to distract him. 3 months later came the NBA.
You're telling me they were booing him and mad because he was dropping 40 points on the team?
Drafts and the infamous Young Doncic trade. When the regular season started, all those who already hated Trae Young were licking their fingers. Trae was playing horribly, missing shots, not existing defensively, and generally struggling to find any rhythm on the court. On the other hand, Luka played spectacularly, and the Hawks GM looked like the biggest fool on the planet. But then, Trae got better. He adapted to the speed of the game and started making shots. Towards the end of the season, he even got into the Rookie of the Year conversation. And all of those who talked trash about him being a bust had to eat their words. With every great game and eventually becoming an all-star in his second season.
Hey, y'all, look, if y'all think if the Mavs and Hawks didn't trade Trae Young and Mavs and Luka, you think Trae Young would be good in Dallas? You think Luka would be good in Atlanta, or you think? I don't know, but I think it was a good trade for both of them because both of them are doing good on both teams.
Young was rubbing it in their face even more, which surely didn't sit well for those who disliked him then. As he was blossoming into a superstar, Trae started to pull superstar moves with the referees, complaining and milking for fouls. Trae also used to jump forward a lot to hunt for free throws, which, in all fairness, was disgusting. But Chris Paul, Curry, Harden, and plenty of others were doing it as well, and we're glad that the league changed that rule for the 2022 season. Some fans didn't like Trae shooting threes from 35 feet, and some trash-talked his defense. However, the real army of haters weren't even on board yet, and Trae got the most of them in the first playoff series of his career. It's quiet as F in here. In the 2021 playoffs, the Atlanta Hawks played the New York Knicks, who enjoyed their first playoff berth in 8 years.
This series right
Trae
here,
would make sure the Knicks remember.
How about y'all? See, this series right here, when he was playing the Knicks, it was funny. It was crazy because he was like, I think the Hawks won this, and Trae Young was destroying the Knicks. That shit was crazy. They started hitting them for no reason. Like, once you hit the Knicks fan, hit on your own team, you'll let Trae Young
remembered it well. He hit the game-winning floater in Game 1 to cap off his 32-point, 10-assist performance. As he was walking towards the bench, Young shushed the Knicks fans, saying, "It's quiet as F in here." Oh boy, did they hate him in the Garden after that. For the remainder of the series, the Knicks fans booed him, cursed him, mocked his hair, and one fan even spat on Trae. However, Trae loved the animosity.
That's fighting words right there. That's fighting words right there. That's fighting words right there. You did that. Come on. See, bro, fans be doing the outrageous most things. Like, why would you do that? Like, bro, show some respect. Like, what are you doing that for? What? Spitting on somebody? Like, are you serious? Like, bro, like, that's fighting words right there, bro. See, fans think they can do anything just because they know that they maybe. But sometimes these NBA players don't really give a fuck, and they'll fight you. Look what happened at Malice at the Palace. Pistons.
And he fed off it. Their trash talking inspired him to play great, and he wanted to add even more fuel to the fire. After he made the three-pointer that sent the Knicks fishing in the deciding Game 5, Trey bowed to the New York crowd in a true Reggie Miller fashion. Almost 30 years after Reggie made a choke sign towards Spike Lee, New York found another Knick killer in the form of Trae Young. And just like Reggie, Trae is almost universally hated amongst all Knicks fans. Some 6 months after he knocked the Knicks out of the playoffs, Trae used this when he appeared at a WWE event in Madison Square Garden. Arriving in a Hawks hoodie, he played the heel once again, as the entire arena booed the hell out of him. Villain legacy. The most absurd thing about the Trae
Young is good, but imagine if Trae Young was like 6'3", 6'4", even 6'5", doing this, shooting deep threes. Imagine if Trae was like that.
Young hate is that some people don't like him because of the way he looks. Young has that Christian Laettner quality of looking smug after a big play. People who hate him say that his small frame paired with a baby-faced look makes it seem like he shouldn't be good at basketball. Iverson was small, but he was cooler than everybody had swag.
Iverson was that nigga for real. Iverson, like in the early 2000s, I wasn't able to watch Iverson, but I bet you right now, every kid wanted to be like Iverson. Why? Because they said, "Oh, he's a cool guy." This and that, but some people didn't like it because act like he was a thug or a gangster. But that's just our culture. That's just a black culture. Like, see, this is why people they pick and choose. They pick and choose. Now, if AI was like 6'4", 6'5", I promise you, AI would have been. AI was that nigga
for days. Trae kind of looks like your polite next-door neighbor who's good at math and can name all of Jupiter's moons. And people are pissed that a guy who looks like that is busting their team. But then there's also the antics. Trae is known to do a shimmy after a big shot, and he sometimes grabs his shoulders and shivers, mimicking his nickname Ice Trae. So when the smallest guy on the floor beats you and then rubs your face in it, oh, that's gotta hurt. Kobe Bryant loved to be booed, and he liked to be arrogant towards the fans to spike their hatred. Some people feed off negative energy, and if Young is anything like Kobe, he'll keep being a jerk to opposing fans. The NBA's most hated. LeBron James has been hated on for years on end, and Skip Bayless alone.
Bro, LeBron has been hated ever since he got drafted to the Cavs, and the NBA failed him. Remember, the NBA gave MJ a team, they gave Kobe a team. They didn't give LeBron a team. They didn't want LeBron to be the next golden boy. They should have gave him a team. They should have gave him a Hall of Fame coach. MJ had a Hall of Fame coach. Kobe had a Hall of Fame coach. They didn't give LeBron a Hall of Fame coach at all. Nobody. They didn't give him a team. They didn't give him no type of team.
Has been hating on LeBron for over a decade now. He finds new ways to undermine him almost every day, despite LeBron being one of the greatest players ever, and you can argue that Skip's entire career is based on hating LeBron. Now, Trae Young doesn't have that kind of notoriety yet, but he could if he keeps on shushing opposing arenas in the playoffs. Basketball is a sport where emotions run high, and there's plenty of passion and drama throughout the game, so naturally it's easy for fans to fall in love with heroes and be full of disgust for the villains. For example, take Christian Laettner, who was hated more than
said most valuable baby.
Any other college player in history. People didn't like him for various reasons, either for being a good-looking dookie, because he was winning all the time, or the swaggy way he carried himself on the court, which many perceived as arrogance. ESPN even made a 30 for 30, titled "I Hate Christian Laettner," where various players, coaches, and fans described their reasons for hating this guy's guts. One of the biggest reasons for hating players is free agency and trades. Free agency can be heartbreaking, especially if your superstar leaves for another city. Vince Carter got absolutely trashed.
The only reason why LeBron left because the Cavs didn't give him a damn team. They didn't give him a team. Nigga, you want him to stay in Cleveland and not get no fucking rings? He left for a reason. Cavs, they didn't give him, he didn't have a team. Come on now. What?
Every time he went to Toronto, ever since his gruesome tanking and forcing the Raptors to trade him. After LeBron's decision in 2010, he was despised everywhere but Miami, and KD's move to Golden State made him the state enemy #1 in Oklahoma City. Then oftentimes, players get hated on even harder during playoff battles. Reggie Miller wasn't very welcomed in New York due to his beef with Spike Lee and the nickname Nick Killer. Kobe was hated because of his arrogance and success against pretty much any franchise. Everybody loathed Bill Laimbeer and Bruce Bowen because they were dirty players who deliberately planted their feet for somebody to turn their ankle. People also hated Dwight Howard because he was acting like a diva, Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler for being too loud and annoying, and Karl Malone for elbowing people in the face. And sometimes, the fan hate isn't even related to basketball. Just look at Chris Humphries, who was hated for being married to Kim Kardashian and looking like a trust fund privileged golden
He was married to Kim Kardashian? What the when?
boy. With Trae Young sharing so many character traits with some of the players we just mentioned, especially Kobe and Reggie Miller. Other than Russell Westbrook and James Harden, Trae is one of the most hated players in the NBA right now. Young has all the qualities of a great villain. He's smug, he's cocky, he can clearly handle the pressure, and has the game to back it up. Plus, when an entire fan base hates you because of one playoff series, you have some serious supervillain potential.
Hey, that's the thing, bro. Hey, that's the video of NBA biggest villain. It's low-key crazy because I think every time when Trae plays the Knicks and Madison Square Garden, they're gonna boom just because of that one playoff series. Trae is a good player, man. He was 6'4", 6'5", he would be even more dominant. But that's the video, man. If you like that video, man, please like, subscribe, share, man. It's Benny Boy McCann. I'm out.